Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Tami from Nutmeg Notebook. We're so glad that you could be with us today. I see so many of you are already in the chat, chatting it up, and Gina is here moderating, and we'll probably have some other moderators join us shortly. So today we have a special guest on Nutmeg Notebook. I'm super excited. You guys can ask questions. She's happy to answer your questions. We just ask that you would put those in the chat and preface them with 2 or 3 question marks and with 2 or 3 question marks. That will just help us to see your questions. So first, I just want to tell you a little bit about our guest. She's my new friend, Chef Naomi Hendrix, and she has been a raw food educator since 2005, teaching people how to transition, I can't even talk today, their lifestyle from a SAD, which stands for the Standard American Diet, to a real food lifestyle. And I love that, a real food lifestyle. She studied at ImmuneNutrition from New York through an online course, then tested in Portland, Oregon, becoming a certified healing foods specialist in 2010. Naomi continues her own education, keeping up on the latest in the science and nutrition of food, Living Light Institute, as she educates her community, as well as ours, about nutrition and a whole food, plant-based lifestyle and eating raw. So she is super busy, and in the Fresno area, she has a restaurant called Raw FRESNO. And with all of that, please welcome Naomi. There she is.
Aww. Hi,
So
Tami.
excited to see you. And I have to tell everyone that I have had the great pleasure of being able to taste some of your dishes, because you do come up to the Sacramento area for our potlucks and get-togethers. And I have absolutely loved everything that you've brought to the potlucks. And it's really encouraged me to try more raw foods. And I've been doing that a lot this summer. And, this is a perfect time to do it, because especially as hot as it's been here in California.
Right.
And so it's so satisfying and filling and delicious. But I was wondering, Naomi, if you could share a little bit about your story, why you adopted this lifestyle, and maybe the health benefits of eating raw.
Sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving us this opportunity to be here with you and Tom. It's been fun already since we just got on here. But my story kind of started back 18 years ago, and my son passed away with celiac disease. He had that autoimmune disorder that was unknown. Before the internet, who knew anything, right? And he was 21 years old. And what is very interesting about that happening, I was studying as much as I could to figure out what was wrong with him. And what I found out was I had been introduced just 30 days before he passed to raw food, and took a raw food challenge of 30 days of eating completely raw. And I was just absolutely amazed. And that was the year actually that I quit drinking alcohol. Quitting drinking alcohol. That was July 3rd or 4th or something like that. And I was raw that whole month during that time. And it just detoxed me, and I knew that it was just creating new cells, and it was, I could see it in my skin, I could see it in my eyes and my hair, everywhere. It was just so amazing to feel so good in just a couple of weeks, actually. But 30 days of doing soaking nuts, waking up those enzymes, letting the enzymes and the nutrition of those nuts and seeds just love your body so much. It was really phenomenal time in my life. And then when my son had passed, I found out why. And then just a few months later, I found out that I had an autoimmune disorder also, which was called Candida yeast overgrowth. It's a dysbiosis. And my doctor said, I need to go gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, vinegar-free, soy-free, yeast-free, peanut-free, corn-free. And I said, what is left? And she said, nuts, seeds, fruits, and veg. And so immediately my household did that. And we were in love. It really worked out well for us because I had all these symptoms of this autoimmune disorder and they just went away, just disappeared. And I couldn't shout on the mountaintops loud enough because I just wanted everybody to feel as good as I did. So that's where I started, and then the story just continues. So what do you want to say, Tami?
I wanted to say, first of all, that I'm so sorry that you lost your son to celiac disease, and what a wonderful tribute it is to his life that you're sharing this.
Right? I always say the weirdest things. I always say he's like Christ. He died for all of us because he really has saved so many people here in Fresno.
Right. It's amazing. So congrats to you.
Thanks. Thank you so much. So from there, then I started teaching classes at Whole Foods, and then I had a food truck. No, I'm sorry. I had a tent, a pop-up that I was invited to Kaiser Permanente. They have farmers market. And so they invited me to have a pop-up tent. And I did that for like 3 years. And then I knew that I just kind of needed to have a food truck. And my truck and 2 or 3 others were the first ones here in Fresno. So it was really a fun time. And I just thought I was the cat's meow. It was really, really exciting to be in a food truck and driving around town and in this big, beautiful box van that's called Minerva. I named it Minerva after my granny, who died at 99 and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's the one that started me on in her garden, learning how to grow vegetables. So I had to, give homage to my granny, Minerva.
I love that. So tell me, how receptive was the Fresno community to vegan and then raw vegan?
Well, it has been a long road. At first, they loved my classes. Were all packed full. They were just in love. They did not want to make the food. They wanted to come and eat the food, and they wanted me to make it and deliver it to them. So that's actually what it kind of turned out at the beginning. Was I was teaching all these people at Whole Foods, and then they just would say, well, you eat this every day. Why can you just make me some too and just deliver it to my house every day? So I had a delivery service. So I would make food, get up early in the morning and make it at my house for myself. And I would just make a big old pot full of whatever it was that day and share it with, everything was compostable containers, or they were all glass containers. I went to San Francisco at one point and got a whole bunch of stainless steel, like to-go 10-pin bento box type things. And so I would pick up dirties and I would drop off full clean ones. So that was really exciting. And so as I grew and they found out about me and wanted to come at Kaiser, I just wasn't going to be doing that delivery all the time. I said, you got to come pick it up on Wednesdays now. So they did. They would show up every Wednesday and be getting food for 2 or 3 days, and then just as it changed, times changed, and people, it got more popular. When I moved into this restaurant 9 years ago, this location, they there's this is kind of like a strip mall, but I hate that word strip, but isn't that funny? Strip
Yeah.
mall. It just sounds so weird, but it's a gathering, an atrium in the middle, and there's 5 restaurants in the inside. So I have George's Shish Kebab right across the door, the hall from me, and then next door is another vegan restaurant that is comfort food. And then behind us, the next door neighbor here is Mexican food, and there's another Italian restaurant. So we're right here, and I knew that this is where I wanted to be because it's downtown. It's where the city workers, the attorneys and judges, it's the courthouse, all the state and federal people, they walk here to all of this area and have lunch every day. So when I was doing that, they thought I was foreign. They were like, who in the heck are you moving into our place here? And what the other thing that was so hilarious is when I first opened, I would just have my doors wide open and we'd be back here blending and chopping and using the Vitamix and all this. And the owner of this location came in and said, I need you to close your doors. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They said, I have customers at the other restaurants that are complaining that your food smells. And we were in shock. I mean, we were like, what are you talking? Because it was fresh, because it wasn't a dead animal that we were killing and murdering or something, that they were only used to that. It was just so bizarre to me. And so I knew I needed to, come up to the line with them and help them see what we really do here. And so I did one thing that I've taken it off the menu now for a while, of the last year actually, but I put Beyond sausage on as a no pigs in the blanket. And we would build a collard green and put cashew cheese and then put that Beyond sausage and then put our Peruvian beans that we would cook. So I have 74 items on the menu that are raw, but we have 4 or 5 items that are cooked. And that's the tortillas for Taco Tuesday. It's cassava flour tortillas. That's our Peruvian beans that we cook every day that goes on top of the beans and greens. That is our soup that we make a different kind of soup every day. And then rice for our sushi. And I believe our hummus, we cook the beans, the chickpeas for the hummus. So, but that really helped people come in because as workers nearby, they would walk over for lunch. They can sit in the common space in the middle and everybody can eat at different restaurants and then come and eat at tables together. And so that helped people that wanted to bring others in. They'd say, well, try this, why don't you? They have this Beyond hot dog thing, or whatever. And so I'm not sure if I answered your question completely, but that's kind of where it's been.
You did. No, I think it's fantastic. And I think it's hilarious that they didn't like the smell of your food.
I know, right?
Like, seriously. But it's just when it's foreign to them, then it's kind of scary and they just have all kinds of ideas. And just to say vegan instantly, is a turnoff to a lot of people. So
Right.
let me ask you this: what is the benefit of eating raw versus cooked healthy vegan food? Because most of the people that follow me probably are cooking their food, but we're eating lots of salads, we're eating smoothies, we're incorporating raw things in our diet as well. But does it digest faster, easier than cooked food? I'm really curious about that.
I know. It's really interesting that you asked me these specific detailed questions. I used to beasts. We were raw-tarians for 3 solid years, never ate anything cooked at all. Rio is my wife, and you've met her, Tami. And
I love her.
oh yeah, she loves you too. Both of you. We both love you both. It's just so fun to see you guys once a month. Thank you. But what was my train of thought? Oh my goodness.
About the raw food. What are the health benefits of over
Sure.
cooked food?
Sure. So what I was saying is the time that we were completely 100% raw, I was so into it, and it is delicious and it is nutritious. We have changed some things since then. I mean, like, you thought that we were still 100% raw when we were coming to the potlucks. And I let you know that, oh no, we eat cooked food, and specifically, steamed veggies all the time. And, but we eat raw food also, but I think I'm wondering how it's going to be when I don't have a restaurant in years to come, if I still do all of the steps, because there is quite a few steps to everything that we make. But like the crackers, I love the crackers, and I know that I'll eat those my whole life. Our crackers and our Bucky granola bars, these are made out of the dehydrator. So what we do is we soak our sunflower seeds, soak our pumpkin seeds, or cashews, walnuts, and almonds. And we always soak them in water and have them in the refrigerator in water. And then we strain them out and rinse them, and then use them in the food processor to make something out of them, like the crackers. Instead of flour, we don't use any flour. We would use the whole nut. So it's a whole food, plant-based diet, right? It's a lifestyle. Yeah. And when I was calling myself raw vegan, because I was 100% raw-tarian at the time, and people just would trip out. They would like, what is this raw thing? And I can't do that. It's so hard. Once you get in a rhythm and just know the days that it takes, you just kind of have a schedule, just like when you and Tom prep all your 14 salads for the week. You just have your system down. You just know what's simple and what turns out to be easiest for your schedule. And that's what I always try to teach my patrons or customers or whoever they might be that would like to learn, is that don't make it too hard. Make it, it's really can be as easy as you want it to be. Now, can you hear me? Because I just touched this and it kind of did a little thing.
No, we can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
It was falling out.
Hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
well,
good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that I too have an autoimmune disease. I have hypothyroidism. And so I've read Dr. Brooke Goldner's book, and she advocates to reverse autoimmune diseases, to go raw initially. And after you heal, then you can add back in some cooked grains and some beans and some different things like that. And at first I thought, I just don't think that, I would be satisfied eating like all raw all day. But, and I'm not doing it 100%, but I am having some days where I am eating all raw, and I am amazed at how filling it really is.
Right. Yeah. It really is.
So I think a lot of times we've conjured up our own idea of how things are going to be. And, we let those food fears that maybe we have or our biases interfere. But if we try things, it's amazing. Because, I've had some of my medical professionals that I see tell me, I could never eat like you do. You mean to tell me you never go get a donut? And I'm like, yeah, I don't go get donuts. You don't go out and have pizza with your family. No, I don't go to the pizzeria, and so they've conjured up their own ideas about how difficult what I do would be. And so, we all tend to do that. But just,
Yeah.
If you give it a try, it's amazing. And we're so adaptable. Our appetites, our taste buds are just so adaptable. So
You
Sherry
know what?
has a question for you.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Tell me what it
Okay.
is.
Yeah. She says, did you heal first before you started adding any cooked food back into your diet?
Yes. And that's why I was saying we were 100% raw for 3 years solid. And it felt like I healed in 1 week. It was so amazing. It just, when everything just, it was what's really hilarious. If you see, all the stuff that I make now, but then what I made just the very first day that I come home from the doctor and she says, you got to cut everything out. I went straight to Whole Foods and I was looking at all the chips and trying to figure out what I could have. I would text her or call her office and say, what about sugar cane juice? what about barley syrup? Is that okay? She's like, no, none of that. And I thought, well, the only thing I can make is pico de gallo. And I don't have any chips I can eat. They don't even make a chip. But then they finally started making that Londonberg or whatever, Londonberg chip that I would get as a treat to have it like once a month. I would get one of those because it had rice flour, I think, in it or something. And I was supposed to have that. But yeah, the healing is so amazing. You feel so good. And it actually puts you in a different spiritual level too, if you know or think about any of that woo-woo stuff. It seems it's really just enlightening, the whole thing, and it all comes together, with yoga and meditating and raw foodist.
Yeah, one thing leads to another because it isn't just about the food. It's about every aspect in our life. How much anxiety we might have, or controlling our stress, and getting plenty of rest, and drinking plenty of water as well. So Sherry has a follow-up question. Once you started after 3 years and you started adding some cooked food back in, did that have any adverse effect on your health?
It did, actually. I started realizing after about 3 years into eating cooked food, I started getting skin rashes. So I became allergic to other foods that I was eating, like almonds, watermelon, garlic. I mean, I had a list of like 40 foods that I was allergic to and that I tried to get under control, and I just kept eliminating and eliminating, and it just didn't ever seem like it was going to go away. And then that's when it was probably 10 years ago that I had heard about Dr. Goldhammer at True North. And I told Rio back then when we went to the Raw Food Expo in Sebastopol, California, years ago, I said, after I heard his speech, I said, if I ever need any health issues, we're going to go. We're going to True North. And so it was 3 years into this allergic reaction that I tried everything, tried all the stuff. And then I went to my doctor, and she is an excellent naturopath. And she did some allergy, blood test. And so we kind of knew everything, blah, blah, blah. But I said, I got to get rid of this. I called Dr. Goldhammer and asked if it would help with skin issues or food allergies. And he goes, yep, absolutely. So I went 3 years ago and I lost 18 pounds, and I didn't really even need to lose it, but I did. And all of my allergies, they just reset my whole body. And now I can eat everything under the sun, and I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. So how long did you water fast at True North?
I did for 27 days. I think it was 21. Yeah, 21 water only, and then 7 for refeeding.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
glad that it got rid of all of those allergy issues for you. That's incredible.
Yeah. I love the fact, because then that's when we really got into the SOS free, so that was 3 years ago, and so now we cook with no oil, no salt, no sugar, and I've never done anything different than that. And we've brought that into the restaurant too. So we have quite a few items that are SOS free, but we don't use oil at all in any of our recipes. But there is some reduced salt, some salt, like in our beans, we put a little bit of salt in them.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, what are you going to make for us today, Naomi?
Oh my goodness, how fun is this? This is the fun part comes in, huh? So we're going to start with the sauce. We're making pad thai. And so I like to start with the sauce first. This is my Vitamix little baby. And we're going to start with some water. And you can add and change this recipe to anything you want. Like instead of water, we used to put coconut milk or coconut cream, but that's high fat. We cut that out. So we use the water now. So we're going to put about 1 cup of water. And then this is tahini. So this is made from sesame seeds. You could change this out to almond butter or walnut butter. It's your choice. I'm going to put that in here. And then, let's see. And you have the recipe on the show right now in the show notes, right?
We do. The recipe, you guys, is down below. And also we sent out a newsletter today. If you're a subscriber to our newsletter, we sent out the ingredient list there for you as well. So
there is a couple of different things I just wanted to kind of show. If you haven't used something like this, it's a low sodium coconut aminos. Here's the low sodium tamari. So it's really your choice. There's the non-low sodium liquid aminos. Today I'm using the Big Tree brand of the coconut aminos. And then we have some miso. You could use any kind of miso you want, red or white. I'm going to just pop that in. And some garlic. I like a lot of garlic. We don't have to use all of these cloves. It can be, just a few. These are kind of small. And it calls for a jalapeno. And I kind of am out, but we make a chimichurri that's out of the jalapenos. And we also put in the leaves of the daikon radish. Oh, my earbud's falling out. The daikon radish leaves. And also we just got a lot of organic romaine. So we just blend it up with jalapenos with this and make this lovely chimichurri. So I'm just going to add that because I like it a little spicy, and a few little chili flakes. And like I said, you don't have to add all of these. And then I have date syrup here just to sweeten it up a little. So we use this same sauce for our sushi dressing, for, like a dipping sauce, kind of like a peanut sauce. And then we have ginger, and I love ginger, not Marianne, only ginger. Sorry.
I love it.
I know, right? So you can mince this, but you don't really have to if you have a high-speed blender. I'm just going to chop it into these big chunks. And you see that I use the peeling. I leave that peeling in there because that's all the goodness that you need for that. So we need the lid. And then I'm going to take you guys over to the Vitamix with me. And we'll put this on. Oh, it's cracking. I had a little tiny bit, and I could tell it's perfect. And so I'm going to have Ellie, my helper, I'm going to set this over here, and then she can put that sauce into a container, a bottle for me. And I'm going to have to clean off my window here. Actually, I don't have to, but it kind of bothers me, my window. That's silly. So while now the next portion is the base, is the noodles. So I like to use a big pan, and I can switch this down here, and we're going to use a couple different noodles. We're going to use daikon. Have you ever seen a big daikon like this?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So today I went grocery shopping this morning, and because I wanted to make the recipe, because I've had it, you brought it to a potluck and I loved it. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I will not be able to stand it if she makes that in front of me and I don't get to eat it.
Yeah.
Because at that potluck, there was some left over and you let me take it home, and I had it the next day, and it was equally as delicious the next day. I just fell in love with the recipe. And all of them that they had at Whole Foods today were huge. I have never seen them so big before. And I didn't know if the bigger they are, if that would make them more woody, but I bought one and it seemed to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's two different styles. Like this is, and I want to, Susan knows, she's not here right now. I can't remember what kind it is, and she's yelling. She'll probably write it in the notes if she's online. I can't remember what kind it is. Yeah, we're watching, Susan. Tell us what it is. And then, but this is like the most typical one. But I can't use this really as well because of the spiralizer. Let me get the spiralizer.
You need straight ones. You need straight ones for the spiralizer.
Yeah,
that's the kind I have.
Yeah, we've used these for many years. I've gone through 10 of these probably. And so recently, we graduated, believe it or not, into a, let me put this over here. We graduated to our KitchenAid. And so I found this at, I think, at Sur La Table, that on sale when they went out of business or something here in Fresno. And and I have this already, so we just put this attachment on here, and so it's really neat how it works. And you see our lovely sprouts? Aren't these wonderful?
Look amazing. Yeah, those look amazing.
Our sprout guy brought those for us this morning.
Wow, we're going to have to come to Fresno and eat with you. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, exactly. So let me move this over so it's a little closer. And you can see that I've already spiralized some. And
beautiful.
These are zucchini. This is butternut squash. And this is daikon. And we could just go with this right now. And I wouldn't have to make any more, but I could cut some and spiralize it too. What do you think, Tami? Should I do some more or not?
It's up to you. I mean,
I don't know how much our time is.
Let's see. Well, we've been on for about 35 minutes. Okay. And we want to see the restaurant, so maybe we don't want to spiralize.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay.
And I just want to tell, I've never tried the raw butternut squash. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we did that the last time because we live in the in the breadbasket of the world here in Fresno, so we get so much produce.
We should tell people about that because you are surrounded by all kinds of
organic farmers.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's where a lot of our food comes from, is from the Fresno area. It's just full of orchards and just everything.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting turned around here. I was trying to turn it that way.
And the organic butternut squash that you can buy at like a farmer's market taste
Yeah.
so much better than the ones that are grown commercially.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, and I've been doing this, for 18 years. So I have like 4 farmers that grow specific for me certain things, and that I buy all year round from them all the time. It's wonderful. And if they have excess, they'll call me and say, "Hey, I have a box of this. You want it?" And I'll say, "Yep." And they bring it. So I have a big walk-in refrigerator, and so we have tons of produce that is sometimes donated. Sometimes I get it just at a lesser price. And so I'm going to use scissors. But so what I was saying about, these, you can do them different. So we just tried those the other day because we had a whole bunch of butternut squash. And I said, I've seen these noodles at Whole Foods. I'm going to do this. And I did it, and it was wonderful. And I did do it in the smaller noodle. These are kind of the thicker ones, but last week, but I did the thicker ones this time. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to get a pair of scissors, if you don't mind, real quick.
No,
and
go
I
ahead.
can still talk to you while I grab it.
And that's what I do too, is I take some scissors. I take some scissors and snip them.
There you go.
Just to cut them up a bit so that they're more manageable when I go to eat them.
Because they really are just so long. But this is one of our favorites. We call this the Throwback Thursday, because we used to make it a lot when it was in season. And the daikon is, it's kind of going out of season right now, but we have so many Asian farmers, and they grow it here year round.
Nice.
Pretty sure year round. So I'm going to just toss that. I've got those all cut up, and you can just see it's so nice with the different colors, and then we're going to continue to add more color. We're going to do some carrots, and these are just shredded. We just put these in I'm going to go like this, and you won't see my face, but that's okay. We're going to do this.
I love all the color.
Yeah, this is cilantro. And I triple and quadruple this recipe because we make it for Thursday. So this is perfect. This is some more butternut squash, but it was just like the bits and pieces because I couldn't do it all. So I just shredded and did it kind of in different little chunks. And I thought it was so fun to put all the stuff in the glasses, and you could kind of see how much we had. And then we're going to do some purple red cabbage. And then we have some parsley. And then I love our Thai basil that we use. And I use the flowers also. So I use just one whole bunch. It says 40 leaves. And I used to count the leaves, believe it or not. I don't do anything like that anymore. I just throw everything in, and it tastes delicious. So that's almost all of it. But now I'm going to do, this is, instead of kale, because I was low on curly kale, I'm going to do collard greens. And what I'm going to do is chiffonade them. And I'll show you how we do that real quick. So I did a few just to show you. And I just lay them flat on top of each other. And then I'm going to take all the stems off. And you can actually, take the stems completely out.
Naomi, did you always have to cook?
I have been the cook in the family. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I've always been the cook in the family. In fact, I had a business before a few years, about, let me see. Yeah, for about 5 years before I started doing this food, before I found out about out my autoimmune disorder. I had a business that was called The Working Person's Wife. And because I felt like everybody needed a wife, because there's online banking and shopping, cooking, moving, packing, tutoring, whatever. So did you see how I just rolled that up? I just lay them all together and just roll them up real tight, and then just make it as small as you want. And then you've got that beautiful, I call it ribbon. Oop, my earbud just fell out. And so now look at this. It's so cute. I love it. And it makes it like green noodles,
Absolutely.
So I do that instead of and that's the rest of those noodles. And so now what's really interesting, I'm going to wash my hands since I just picked up my earbuds off of the floor. And one thing about raw food is we don't use gloves. We want the essence. We want our love in this food. So that's what we do. We toss it and make it so beautiful. Wow, I love this color. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness, this is just a rainbow salad, isn't it?
It is. It's gorgeous. And the thing is, you can use whatever vegetables you have on hand, you guys.
Yeah. I've put cauliflower in here, steamed or raw. I've put broccoli. And then when I dress it, and then when I put it on the table or on a plate, then I plate it with some beautiful tomatoes. And
Nice.
let me kind of clean this up a little bit, get some space around here. I wanted to show you my farm fresh tomatoes. Look at these gorgeous. I love these yellow striped ones. They're kind of like red and yellow, orange striped ones. These are my favorite.
They look amazing.
Thank you. So now I have my dressing, and I'm going to, I do it two different ways. I pour it out like this and put it right on top.
And a very generous amount of it.
Yeah, very generous amount. And again, giving it all that love, you need to think about you're feeding your family, you're feeding your own body. This is what raw foodists do. They love that God has created this garden for us and that all this produce is available, and we thank the vegetable gods for all this bounty and this beauty, and we know that the nutrition is going to fill any void in our body that it might need. And that is called treatment. So I'm washing my hands off and I'm carrying this over here.
Okay.
So now, as I plate it, so you see that we're in the restaurant and we have customers. Yeah. And so I was trying to, I don't know what I'm doing over here, but I'm going to plate this, and let me get a plate. And there's a couple of different ways we can do this. It's really fun. That's my favorite part is plating the food. And I'm trying to realize that I don't have what I thought. Let's walk around here real quick. So I could give you kind of a little tour this is our working station, all of our spices. and all of our goodies. This is where Susan works back here. These are 100-year-old baking tables that I got from a local bakery that had gone out of business right before I opened this restaurant. So I love my wood, beautiful big wood working spaces that are so nice. What I'm looking for here is all of our things, and I'm looking for something that might not be here. This is all of our mess back here. Okay, well, I don't think this is our big freezer. Here's a bunch of desserts, our raw vegan desserts. I don't know if you could see that.
Beautiful. They look amazing.
And then this is the entrance where you would order your food, and there's beautiful sushi today on Wednesdays. And then here's our restaurant.
You have food ready to go. People can come in and pick stuff up that's already ready. That's adorable.
Grab and go. Grab and go, yes. And then let's step outside real quick. I'll show you what I meant about being inside here at this atrium. And then there's George's restaurant. And the other, so this is the big front end of our window.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this is a local artist that painted this for us. And
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and all the wood tables with the raw edge and our green colors. And then we have a map here that I've always wanted to, it's magnetic, and I have people all over the world that have come, and I just didn't get my act together to get those magnets. But but this is Raw Fresno, I call it my tattoo. It's the only tattoo I'll ever have in my whole life. It's right here.
Nice.
And yeah. And then we have our rowing machine. So I row in the mornings when we come in here. This is my photography. As my son had passed, I had done a 21 wildlife series that really helped me. And so that's how I get out from on that side to here underneath there.
You're very flexible.
Yeah, I am. So my thing is loosening up here. I better tighten it. What I was looking for was and you can make it at home, is say a tin can, a can of beans, take the lid off the bottom and the top and the bottom, then you've got a cylinder. So that's what I was looking for. And I know we have a cylinder back there, but it just wasn't there. So with the cylinder, you pack it, and then you turn it onto the plate and lift it up. And then it's this tall cylinder full of pad thai. And it looks so pretty when it's plated that way.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you that. But let me do it like this and see how it turns out, okay? And I'll give you the idea. So by having it loose, you can really push it into your cylinder.
Okay.
That's what you have to do. You're going to try this. I know you will. And it's really lovely. I'm going to push it like this onto my table here so that I can really grab it. What were you saying?
So so you can really put some pressure on it so it'll stay together.
Yeah. So you could do it just like this. And then maybe what I'll do is put a collard green. You could put like a collard green. You could cut it because this has a hole in it. But we like the imperfection of food. We are food snobs, but not in that way. So I can see it's going to fall. Boom.
Oh,
there you go.
That's so cool.
Isn't that neat how you can do it like that? So now we're going to slice. Yeah, it's really fun. So I'm going to slice a beautiful heirloom tomato, kind of sit it on the side here. And then we also have our coconut bacon, which we make in the dehydrator. We just put the low salt aminos and ginger, and then dehydrate those. And they taste like bacon with liquid smoke. Oh my goodness. It's so good. It's to live for. So you could, what do you think? That would work out okay, don't you think?
Oh, I think it's lovely. Yes, it's beautiful.
You could put avocado. Also, if you want to add some more fat, you could add some of these basil leaves to kind of lay it over here on top or whatever. But it's delicious, and I can smell it, and everybody in the lunch club that gets a delivery is going to be happy if they get this today, because they always say, I want pad thai.
Amazing. It looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So you still make food and people come and pick it up instead of you delivering it? They come pick it up from the restaurant?
Well, both ways. Yeah, absolutely. We have lots of people that do come here. Just like I said, they walk here from their work every day for lunch. We have the same repeat customers, some of them. And then we have travelers. We have a ton of travelers. They come because we're right off the freeway off of 99. We're between San Francisco and LA. We are where Yosemite National Park is, Kings Canyon National Park is. So we have campers and travelers that from all over the world. And they go home and they tell their family, and then their family comes the next summer and they say, my relatives told me, and we're here. I mean, I've heard this time after time after time. It's so lovely. And then also the travelers. Oh, so we also I have Ron, who is a retired veteran. And his wife, Jan, wanted to kick him out of the house. She says he needs something to do. Give him something to do, please. And so he began being our delivery guy. So he comes in about 9 in the morning, every morning. And he picks it all up in ice chest and drives all over. And he probably till 1 o'clock, from like 9, 10 till 1. He delivers about 15 meals every day. And so there's always somebody new coming on that subscription. It's for a long time, and I'll do this special for you today. If anybody does live in town and they want to start that subscription, it has been a 14-day detox for $140. So that's $10 a meal. It's very affordable. Yes. It's like ridiculous. We're really just giving it away. But what the thing is that keeps doors open. That helps us just always moving all this product, moving it, keeping it fresh. And so the price has gone up. We just got our new menus and the prices have gone up. But for you today, we're going to still do that for $140, 14 meals delivered. And we deliver 1 meal each day for lunch. So they have something nutritious and they feel great, and they have the brain cells to make something good for dinner, or, wait and have breakfast the next day if they're fasting that night.
That's amazing. So, that's a wonderful service that you're providing. I love that.
Well, when I was in my food truck, I still have a food truck, but I don't drive it around. During COVID, I quit because all the farmers markets, they all closed. So I had to quit doing that. So that next year, I only stayed at the restaurant, and I made the same amount, or actually more money than I did with the truck. So I decided it was just too hot and too much work. And that was like my beginning years that needed to bring people to the restaurant. Oh yeah, my food truck. Oh yeah, my restaurant's here. See, just follow me home. kind of thing. And so I still have customers from Kaiser that come here and, or I'll see them out at the farmer's market, or I'll see them at the store, and they'll say, I don't ever see you at Kaiser anymore, or whatever. And I say, well, I'm at the restaurant. You got to come out there. So we have that. And then we also have our meetup groups here in town. We have a potluck every first Saturday at 2:00 here at the restaurant. So anybody is welcome to come here too.
And at what time? What time is that?
At 2:00 on the first Saturday of each month. And it's Central Valley Meetup Group, Central Valley Whole Food Plant-Based Meetup Group. And but they don't have to be a member of the meetup group to come. They're welcome to come. What did you say?
So if they go on meetup.com, are you on meetup.com and they can find it? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple questions for you, Naomi. Cheryl wants to know, how do you come up with ideas for your raw food recipes?
Well, it was when I was really deep into my recipe endeavors of creating so we could live every day. I was making all of these all the time. The cinnamon rolls in our dessert box is like a staple. We used to make that every Sunday. Rio, she actually ended up, and it was her thing. She would get up and make it every Sunday morning, and we would have it. We had it planned out so that every day we'd have a cinnamon roll for breakfast, and every day we would, on Sunday we would have one left for that day. But then we had to make them Sunday so we could have one on Monday. And I'll send you pictures of us when we were Rawtarians. We look a lot better than we did right now, but that was 19 years ago too. I think we still look good though, right?
Can I ask you, you guys look amazing, and you have so much energy. And if there's a band at a potluck, you guys, they dance, and they're both amazing dancers. And it's you guys are so much fun. You're welcome. On the cinnamon rolls, are those ones, I've seen raw ones made with banana and you dehydrate it. Is that, no, it's a different.
No,
recipe.
It's all nuts. We use walnuts and pecans and almonds, but actually I think we got it down to just walnuts and pecans. And dates and cinnamon. That's really all it is. And we roll it out and it was so fun, and still fun to make. Roll it out and then put this date, kind of a cinnamon dates crumble, spread it and kind of crumble it, and then roll it from the end all the way, and then cut them into pieces, and then we put them in the dehydrator. So they're dried, they're not baked. All of our desserts are raw.
Yeah.
And then we put a caramel cream. We use cashews, or we could use macadamia nuts for the cream on top.
That sounds amazing. Amazing.
Super nutrient dense.
Yeah. So another question for you. Jesse would like to know, Naomi, what are your favorite spices and herbs?
I would say ginger and garlic are my favorite. And I love just all the fresh herbs, parsley, cilantro, basil. I grow all this. I have a large garden all in my whole front yard. We have no grass. We just have all wildlife garden. And so we grow, last year we had like 300 kale plants. And this year we probably have 50 right now. So we get to go outside and just pick anything we want. I mean, because Rio works out of the house on the computer she teaches City College, but
nice.
She's at home more than I am. So I make food here, she makes food there. And I know we're kind of running out of time, maybe.
No, we're good. As long as you're good. Do you have time for more questions?
Sure. Oh yeah, sure. Bye.
Okay, great. Daria would like to know, is there a raw FRESNO cookbook in the future?
Absolutely. I have a digital form right now that I thought about sending you that link, and I haven't done that yet. So I can get that for you.
Nice. That's great. So a lot of response to that everyone needs a wife.
I know, right?
I have to tell you, my best friend from my childhood, and we've known each other for over 50 years now. We always said, especially when we were raising our families, that we just need a wife. We need someone who just knows what to do next.
Right?
Just
exactly.
is intuitive, and we don't have to think about it. And they would just, wouldn't that be great? We all just need a wife. We really do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was an incredible business that you had going there. Lots of fun.
Yeah. And I think I didn't finish when I was speaking about that. Is the reason why I was bringing that up is I would cook for people too at that time. And I had a lot of vegetarians actually. And I was new to vegetarianism at that time. I was new to it. But I would learn all these recipes. I'd look them up, or I had cookbooks and stuff. And so it was vegetarian, not vegan. So that was my first. Yeah.
Well, see, it was stepping stones. Like everything prepared you for what you're doing today.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you had that business going, and then it just kept going, and to get you to the point you are at today. So are you still teaching any classes? Do you do any cooking classes?
I haven't recently for the public. I do have 3 YouTube videos that are shows that are Food That Matters with Chef Naomi. And those are on PBS right now here locally. And yeah, and also they are, on YouTube on my channel. So I think I gave you that channel. I'm not sure if all 3 of them are on there. I know I have the first one on. So it's a lot of work to do all this.
It is.
To do, the restaurant and my own private stuff and my own personal foods, and, and wanting to share with the world. And but I'm doing it. I love it.
You've had a tremendous influence there in Fresno. I'm curious, did any of your other family members decide to go vegan or raw vegan?
No, none, not other than, my own daughter, she does, her and her family, because of my son, because of her brother passing away because of that. They knew the importance of food. So her and her husband, they really kept it to gluten-free, not eating. And then it was really dairy-free because of the food allergies and things like that. And so my grandson, Brody, who you might get to see one of these days, he's my pride and joy, 13 years old. Both Brody and Logan have grown up on green smoothies from Raw FRESNO in Nani's house. And I've been on TV shows here locally, the news. They've been on the news with me, creating things in the kitchen, showing how easy it is. Logan did a key lime pie, which was avocado and coconut milk and coconut oil, which, we don't do the oil anymore, but some of the desserts do have the coconut oil in them. But besides, and my daughter yesterday, Leah, she texted me and said, can you send Ron? Can you have Ron send us food? We want your food. We're starving for your food. They get tired of their normal, barbecue because they had a family member from out of town or something. But all of my distant relatives and things, no, they're not really into it. They're like, I'm not going to say anything.
No, and I think most of us have had that same experience. We've been able to influence a few people, and just like our children, our adult children, adopted a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And my grandkids, I have 3 grandchildren, and all 3 grandchildren are whole food plant-based and have been since birth. So
that just lovely.
That just makes us super happy that they have done that. And, but everybody's on their
Yeah.
own journey. That's, we've
Right.
had to just accept that, I mean, we were in our 50s before we discovered this way of eating. And,
Yeah. Right.
everybody has
Everybody's
their
on their
own.
own journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We used to want to preach to the gospel. Well, we wanted to everybody. Like I said, we were just so excited and we felt so good. It was like, my gosh, we feel so good. And how can you not like this? And anytime I would share our food, everybody would love it. They'd be like, wow, you need to have a restaurant. We would say, we don't want to work that hard. We just want to eat really good, but we don't want to work that hard. But reality hit that there is no restaurant that we can eat in Fresno. Only ours. We don't eat out like you say. You guys don't. Yeah, I mean, we could do social things and go, but we will like eat before we go, and we don't eat after 2 or 3 o'clock anyway. We do intermittent fasting, so all of our activities would be early on in the day, in the mornings. We love to go hiking and fun stuff like that. Going to that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to show everybody that I did also make your dish today. And so because because I'd already had it at the potluck, I knew that if I didn't make it, I was going to be really, really jealous. And so I did make it, and I didn't know whether I should, I only dressed just this bowl of it because I didn't know, would it hold up overnight, or is it best to hold the dressing and do it tomorrow?
Either way. Yeah, I would do it tomorrow. Don't dress it until tomorrow.
Yeah.
It lasts a little longer, I think.
This is going to be my dinner tonight. And Tom's over there looking at the rest of the bowl. This is his bowl, he says.
Oh, and you know what I forgot to show is when you put it like this, then you can go and just drizzle it over on top too. And that's kind of pretty. I forgot about that.
Absolutely.
One other thing that I do with this pad thai, and I forgot, and if you want to, I have the time, is whenever we'd be on the food truck to events, we would take whole coconuts and cut them open and put the straw in it, and they would drink the coconut water, right? And then I would tell them, just bring the coconut back, and I have a special tool, and I'll scrape all the coconut out for you and put it in a bowl. Then you can eat the coconut. So a lot of times they don't do that, or they did. They loved it. They brought it back, and I would take it back. But what I would do when I have coconuts, I would take the meat out, and then I cut it into noodles. And then you can put it in your pad thai also, or you can put it on the top for a decoration if you don't have a whole lot. So I have a coconut here. I could open it and show you how to open it.
I would love to see that.
Good.
I have, years ago, our Whole Foods would have those fresh coconuts at certain times of the year, and they would have them on ice in the produce department.
Yep.
But I haven't seen those for a long time. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Just like this.
So where do you find those? Where do you get them?
Restaurant Depot here in town is where we get some of our paper, like our paper boxes and stuff like that. It's a big restaurant.
Our local Asian market might have those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will. Definitely, they would. Be sure that you get them that are in the refrigerator, because that's what I like about it being at Restaurant Depot. And you could get an account at Restaurant Depot and just get a few things that you might need, and it's free. You don't need to. Do you have a Restaurant Depot close to you?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look.
Yeah.
I'm going to write it. I'm going to write it down.
Yeah, because I can even give you my account number if you want it. You can use it.
I'll check and see if we have one. I would think that we would have one somewhere here. Okay, so I'm going to put you on screen so we can see what you're doing.
Okay, and I'm going to put it down here so that you could really see good.
Nice.
Let's see, I have all my stuff here still. So I like to use a couple different knives. I'm going to use these two, maybe just one. We're almost finished, Mary. And then I like to use this butcher knife. What you do first is obviously unpackage it. And I didn't know which knife was sharp right this second. I like to kind of use this. Yeah, this is really nice. It's very small and flexible. So what I do is, if you could see, this is, I cut it straight down and then out.
Okay.
So yeah, you can, I'm cutting it, I'm staying right next to the nut so I can feel the nut under my knife. I can feel that nut. You can see it starting to show through. And you just, you know, there's a couple different ways you can do this, but this is the safest way. Just have a really nice small knife. So now I'm going to show you once this is all cleaned off. See?
Oh, yes.
Now look at that. See, you can see a vein here.
Yes.
And you can see a vein here and a vein there. So that means this is the soft spot because there's not a vein there. So
Okay.
I'm going to whack it right there with the butcher knife. With the butt of it, the butt of this knife right here.
Okay. Wow.
So, and it's very, and you don't have to do it hard. Yeah, I mean, I just.
Oh,
So,
nicely done.
So there's two soft spots, actually, one right here in the small area and then one a little closer to the edge. So I'm going to close this back up and cut it right there and show you how it will. And you can get your knife underneath it and just kind of go all the way around and just pull it up. See, and then you got the whole thing open.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, delicious. I love that. Wasn't that fun? That slurp. Look at how much coconut water this is. This
wow,
is
it has
so
a lot.
Cool.
Do they always have so much?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow,
so
that's
then,
amazing.
Yeah, and I love this. Oh, we used to drink a lot of coconut water. So this, I can see that this noodles or this coconut meat is pink. That means it's still young, and so it's not as thick as I like it. I'm gonna come over here real quick and get a. Are you okay, Ellie? Yeah. Okay. Huh? Vitamix. Yeah, you can use it. Get the Vitamix. Can you carry it? So I'm using this tool that it's just a flat spatula, and you just go all the way around. We've been to we've taken the food truck to all different kinds of festivals, and we were at the Central Coast Vegan Festival for 3 years in a row. And these are the biggest hits. Oh my God, they just love this coconut. So like I said, I'm going to just dump it out.
People said they're taking notes on this.
Oh, good. Yeah. So like I said, there's some that is really thick and these are kind of thin. So it's not as good as I would like it because it's so thin that I can't really clean all the little peeling off. But it doesn't, but it doesn't hurt you. That peeling doesn't taste. So then you can just see I can just slice it into like noodles.
And then would you add that to the pad thai?
Yeah, you could put it just right on top if you want, like I said, or you could just toss it in when you're
Beautiful.
tossing all your noodles. Yeah.
I love it. We all learned something new from that. Thank you so much for sharing
Oh,
that.
yeah. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love that. I love
That
cooking
is
it.
amazing. I'm going to look and see if I can find some of those locally and see. So people are saying we all just need to drive to Fresno and eat. And
Yeah. You should do
yeah,
a little meetup group here at Raw Fresno. Come on
I
down all
know.
together.
If we
Ride the
should,
train.
that would be so much fun.
We're just 1 block away from the train station, two
One
blocks from the
block.
train station.
Oh,
Oh,
that could be a fun little getaway
fun little
trip.
outing, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So would we have time to go down and back the same day on the train? I
Hmm.
wonder. We'll have to look that up
Yeah.
and see what we can figure
Yeah,
out.
you could. And Tami, if you and Tom want to come and stay over, I would love to host you. We have
Aw.
property up in Squaw Valley, and we have tiny houses that you could stay in.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it would be
Okay.
fun.
It would be
It's a
really, that
date.
would be really fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
That would be
Oh,
great. When the weather cools down.
yeah, I know. I
Oof,
know.
it's too hot right now. Too hot. Well, I
To
can't
do
thank you
anything.
enough, Naomi. This has just been wonderful. I hope that people in the Fresno area will come and visit your restaurant. And those of us that travel up and down 99, remember that you can stop there and eat and get some goodies to take with you. Take your cooler so that you can buy some things and take them with you as well. If you're going to Yosemite, it's the perfect place to stop and get something to eat. And then if you want to join the Sacramento area meetup, Naomi often comes to those as well. And so you can actually meet her in person and sample some of her food, because she always brings
Yeah.
a couple things to share that are just absolutely delicious. That cold mango soup that you made, that was to
Yeah,
die
that
for.
was cantaloupe soup.
Oh, cantaloupe. It
Yeah,
was to
yeah.
die for. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
it was
goodness.
delicious.
Yeah, and if I
So,
could say one more thing is
yeah.
a couple things is if you are in the Sacramento area and you want me to bring things, you can always order ahead and I'll bring it to you at the potluck. The other thing is I ship all over the United States. Since it became very popular once I was on Chef A.J. show. But I've shipped all over the whole United States for years. And so that's an option also, just to let you know. And the only day we're closed is Sunday. We're not open on Sunday, but our hours are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, except Saturday we open at 11, but we're open until 4 every day. So
That's
that's our
amazing.
hours.
That's a huge commitment too, to do
It
that.
is.
That's a huge commitment.
We used to be 7 to 7 every day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. Oh, not Sunday, never on Sunday. But this
You
is what
got
it
to
is
have a
right
day
now.
off.
I know. I have to have a day off. I go up and hang out at my tiny house.
Yeah, so we have contact information, you guys, in the underneath the video. So where it says more, click on that, and there's all the information about how you can reach Naomi, and so check that out. And then she demonstrated how to make the pad thai, and the ingredient list is listed also in the notes. But just know you can substitute whatever you have on hand, because it's just all about using those fresh veggies that you have, and you can even play with the dressing recipe and customize it. Just remember, recipes are just an idea, and they get you started, and then you can take off from there. And everybody is just giving you lots of compliments in the comments, and they loved your presentation and the pad thai, and they're wishing that your restaurant was where they live, as do I.
I know. I hear that every day, I'm so glad that I have gotten to feed so many people and really help them. So it's lovely, and I'm just blessed myself because of it.
Well, they do say that food made with love does taste better. So I'm sure that your food is amazing, but also because it's made with so much love and kindness, that makes a huge difference. So I really appreciate you giving us so much time today and sharing so much about your love of a whole food, plant-based, vegan diet and the raw food. And it's just been a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much. And we can do this again sometime, anytime in the future. And also, Susan said she would be interested also. So she does our desserts in-house. And so she could show you those also next time.
Yeah, people are saying they would love to see a dessert demonstration. So that would be amazing as well. All right. Thank you so much, Naomi. Tell everybody there, thank you for allowing us to come in and invade your space. And we'll see you next time.
Okay. See you soon. I think this coming weekend, right?
I'm not going to make it to the potluck. I'm not going to make it to the potluck on Sunday because I've started, I joined a Pilates studio, and I was on a wait list to get into a class, and I just found out that I got in on Sunday at 1. So I'm going to miss the potluck, but I'll be doing something very healthy for myself.
Good for you. Well, we'll miss you, but thank you again, and tell Tom thanks, and see you guys soon.
Okay, will do. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
And thanks everybody for watching today. We really appreciate it. And I want to thank Gina and Jesse for being in the chat and helping us to moderate. And thank you all for all of your sweet and kind comments. We really appreciate it here. I'm Tami, and I help you get healthy and stay healthy one meal at a time. We'll see you next time. Bye.